For more than 25 centuries, people have asked a simple yet extraordinary question: can I become a Buddha? The question might sound daring, even arrogant, but it is not. It is, in fact, the very heart of the Buddhist path. Siddhartha Gautama, who became the Buddha, never claimed monopoly over enlightenment. He never said, "Only I can awaken." Instead, his message was radical. You too can awaken. You too can become free. This story is not about Siddhartha alone. It is about you, me, and every human being who has ever wondered about the purpose of existence, the pain of suffering, and the possibility of liberation. It is about how an ordinary person bound by desire, fear, and ignorance can walk the path of transformation and uncover the luminous state of Buddhahood. Let us begin this journey step by step, weaving together history, philosophy, practice, and lived experience, until we arrive at the essence of becoming Buddha. Every transformation begins with a spark. Buddhism calls this spark Buddha nature. It is the innate potential for awakening present in all beings, regardless of who they are. Like a seed hidden in the soil, Buddha nature may lie dormant for years, but given the right conditions, sunlight, water, nourishment, it grows into a mighty tree. The first step toward becoming Buddha is recognizing that the seed exists within you. Without this recognition, the journey never starts. Many people dismiss themselves as too flawed, too sinful, too ordinary. But the Buddha himself insisted, all beings have the potential to awaken, just as the lotus blooms pure and fragrant even in muddy waters. This spark does not discriminate. It is not reserved for monks in monasteries, saints in temples, or scholars of scripture. It belongs to the farmer tilling his land, the mother feeding a child, the teacher in a classroom, the worker in a factory. The path is universal. To understand how to walk the path, we must revisit Siddhartha Gautama's life. Born a prince, shielded from suffering, he lived in luxury. Yet something in him was restless. One day, venturing beyond the palace, he encountered what we all eventually meet: old age, sickness, and death. Finally, he saw a wandering monk, serene despite having nothing. Those four sights shattered his illusion of permanence and awakened in him the great question: is there a way to transcend suffering? His story mirrors our own. Every time we confront the fragility of life, watching a loved one grow old, witnessing sickness, facing our own mortality, we are being invited to the path. But often we look away, distract ourselves, or bury the discomfort. To become Buddha, we must do what Siddhartha did: look directly, unflinchingly, at the truth of suffering. The Buddha's first teaching after enlightenment was not mystical, it was profoundly practical. He presented four noble truths which remain the foundation of becoming Buddha. The truth of suffering, dukkha. Life inevitably involves suffering. Not just obvious pain, but the subtle dissatisfaction that even pleasure brings, because it fades. The truth of the cause. Suffering arises from craving, clinging, and ignorance. We want things to last forever, but they don't. We want control, but impermanence rules. The truth of cessation. If craving ends, suffering ends. Liberation is possible. The truth of the path. The noble eightfold path leads to freedom. To accept these truths is not pessimism, it is courage. It is like a doctor diagnosing an illness honestly so that healing can begin. Denial keeps us trapped. Recognition opens the door to liberation. The Noble Eightfold Path is not a set of commandments, but a way of life, balanced and practical. It consists of right view, seeing reality clearly, not through delusion. Right intention, choosing thoughts of kindness, compassion, and renunciation. Right speech, speaking truthfully, gently, and with purpose. Right action, acting ethically, avoiding harm to others. Right livelihood, earning a living without causing suffering. Right effort, letting go of unwholesome states, cultivating wholesome ones. Right mindfulness, staying present, attentive to body, feelings, and mind. Right concentration, developing deep states of meditation leading to insight. These 8 spokes of the wheel do not need to be mastered sequentially. They are lived simultaneously, reinforcing one another. To walk this path in daily life is to shape the mind gradually into the mind of a Buddha. One of the simplest yet most profound practices is mindfulness. To be mindful is to be awake to the present moment, fully engaged without distraction. Most people live in a fog of past regrets and future anxieties. They eat without tasting, walk without noticing, breathe without awareness. But the Buddha taught, mindfulness is the path to immortality. Heedlessness is the path to death. Becoming Buddha begins with reclaiming your awareness. Drinking tea mindfully, you taste not just tea but life itself. Walking mindfully, each step becomes a miracle. Breathing mindfully, you connect with the rhythm of existence. Awakening is not found in faraway heavens, it is discovered in the ordinary when lived with full awareness. If mindfulness is the foundation, meditation is the jewel. The Buddha attained enlightenment not by intellectual debate, but through deep meditation beneath the Bodhi tree. Meditation trains the restless mind to settle. At first, the mind leaps like a monkey, swinging from thought to thought. With patience, it becomes like a calm lake, reflecting reality clearly. Different methods exist: breath meditation, loving-kindness meditation, insight meditation, but their essence is the same: to cultivate stillness, clarity, and compassion. Through meditation, layers of illusion fall away. The ego softens, desire weakens, fear dissolves. Slowly, the radiant nature of the mind reveals itself. Meditation is not an escape from life. It is the most intimate encounter with life. Wisdom alone does not make one Buddha. It must be joined with boundless compassion. The Buddha, after awakening, could have remained in blissful silence. But he chose to teach out of love for all beings still trapped in suffering. To become Buddha is to see others' pain as inseparable from your own. When another weeps, you feel it. When another rejoices, you rejoice. Compassion is not pity, but solidarity born of wisdom. All beings are interconnected. Acts of compassion need not be grand. A kind word, a patient ear, a helping hand, these are the daily blossoms of Buddha nature. On his journey, Siddhartha tried extremes: indulgence in luxury, then harsh asceticism. Neither brought awakening. What worked was the middle way, a path of balance. The middle way avoids self-indulgence and self-mortification. It is moderation in all things, discipline without rigidity, enjoyment without excess. It is also a metaphor for balance in mind, between effort and relaxation, wisdom and compassion, solitude and community. To become Buddha, one must walk this middle way, not escaping life but harmonizing with it. Every seeker encounters obstacles. Buddhism names them the 5 hindrances: desire, aversion, restlessness, sloth, and doubt. These are the weapons of Mara, the personification of illusion. Even Siddhartha, on the verge of enlightenment, was tempted by Mara. Mara whispered fear, pride, lust, and despair. But Siddhartha remained unmoved, touching the earth and declaring, "The earth is my witness." In our lives, Mara appears as procrastination, self-doubt, anger, greed, distraction. To become Buddha, we must face Mara, not with hatred, but with awareness. Seeing the illusion, Mara loses power. Many believe becoming Buddha requires renouncing the world. But the Buddha himself taught that awakening is not about robes, rituals, or monasteries. It is about living truthfully and compassionately. You can walk the path as a parent, worker, student, or friend. Wash dishes mindfully. Speak kindly. Earn honestly. Rest peacefully. Enlightenment is not elsewhere. It is right here in the midst of daily life. History is filled with examples of ordinary people becoming extraordinary through the path. Angulimala, a feared bandit, transformed into a monk after meeting the Buddha, embodying compassion instead of violence. Milarepa, a Tibetan yogi who once practiced dark magic, turned his life around and became a great teacher. Countless lay practitioners have attained deep awakening while living ordinary lives. Their stories remind us, no matter how lost or broken, anyone can walk toward Buddhahood. At the heart of Buddhism is letting go. To become Buddha is to release clinging to possessions, identities, fears, desires, even to the idea of enlightenment itself. When the Buddha awakened, he did not become divine. He became fully human, free from illusion, radiant with compassion. The final step is surrender, letting go into the reality of impermanence and interconnection. Liberation is not something you grasp, it is what remains when grasping ends. So, how does one become Buddha? By recognizing the seed of awakening within. By facing suffering honestly. By walking the Eightfold Path. By practicing mindfulness and meditation. By cultivating compassion. By balancing through the middle way. By facing Mara with courage. By living truthfully in daily life. By letting go. Becoming Buddha is not about escaping the world, but about living fully awake within it. Every mindful breath, every compassionate act, every moment of clarity is a step toward Buddhahood. You may never sit beneath a Bodhi tree for 49 days, but you can touch awakening here and now in every life you are living. The Buddha is not far away. The Buddha is you when you awaken.